This is the Lancer Locker Show on KYNT. Now, let's talk some Mount Marty University athletics with the coaches, as well as your host and the voice of Mount Marty University athletics, Tel Tanner.
Another Monday in the booth for the Lancer Locker. We got a lot to go over this week. A lot of good athletics for the Mount Marty Lancers as we go to our week in review first. And then we're going to take a look at Mount Marty women's cheer. The cheer squad, we had them in the booth a little earlier today. The competitive cheer season coming up here in a bit. Right now it's sideline season on the football for a bunch of different sports. So we had the head coach in Joe Erickson in to talk with us, along with sophomore Emily Moody. Joe brought along, thought she would be a good person to talk to today. So we've got both of those coming up, and we're going to speak with head coach John Michaletti of the Mount Marty football program as they got a very big win over the weekend, set the program record in total wins with 4, and they beat the Briarcliff Chargers in the Catholic Cup Traveling Trophy Series. Lancers now have a little bit of hardware in the locker room. They've got 2 Catholic Cups in the Dakota Railroad rivalry wins over Presentation, Dakota Wesleyan, and Briarcliff now. So that's pretty interesting for their locker room. We're going to talk with John Michaletti about that up next. Then once again, we'll speak with Emily Moody of the Mount Marty cheer team, and then Joe Erickson, the cheer team's head coach. So first, let's go to our week in review real quick. We'll try to keep this one short because we got a lot to go over today. We'll start it off with cross country. They competed at the Briarcliff Invitational in North Sioux City, South Dakota at the Adams Homestead and Nature Preserve. The Lancer men finished 5th out of 8 teams, scoring 124 points. Logan Ferrari, Lancer senior, turned in the top performance for the Lancers, set a new school record and a senior record for the 8K course at 21:31:50. That is a 3rd place finish in the total match. Ferrari beat Brian Santiago's school and senior record time of 26:28:70 by almost a minute. Santiago also competed in the race and finished 4th. Then freshman phenom Joseph Cross also had a record-setting performance by setting a new Mount Marty freshman course record at 26:15:10. So that was very good there, just a little bit behind Ferrari. He had a 5th place finish. So they placed very well there. 4 Mount Marty women's athletes competed in the women's 6K as well. The top Lancer finisher was freshman Isabel Ramsgard, who had a 39th place finish. Sophomore Alexis Gosh finished in 51st. Freshman Rachel Irk was 81st. And sophomore Josie Wallstrom was 83rd. Those are the Lancers that competed in that one. The Lancers are going to compete next at home, the Mount Marty Cross Country Invitational at Fox Run Golf Course in Yankton, South Dakota on October 24th. Meet scheduled to begin at 4:40 p.m. Once again, October 24th. That is not this next week, but the week after. That is the 24th Thursday in October. We go now to golf, the golf teams. We'll start it off on the women's side of things. They are in action today and tomorrow at the morning side invite. They're in South Sioux City playing Dakota Dunes. The men's team is also there today and tomorrow. Dakota Dunes, they started earlier this morning. Today and tomorrow that one will be. We'll have all the results on the Totally Yankton Morning Show in the mornings. For soccer, both teams had a bit of a setback this weekend as they both fell at Briarcliff. 9-0 for the women's program. The men fell, I believe, 5-0 in that one. Then volleyball and football, both teams got really good wins against Briarcliff as well over the weekend. The volleyball team ended up getting a 3-0 victory over the Briarcliff Chargers. They're now 12-7 overall and 4-4 in conference. The last time the Lancers have had a season like this where they've been winning conference games at this level was 2014. It's been 10 years. Mount Marty in the match, it was Julia Weber leading in kills with 18. She hit 245 as an outside in that game as well. 35 assists for Tevin Erickson, who is the setter. And in terms of the digs, it was Zoe Bursch leading the way with 15. For Mount Marty football, they're now 4-2 overall, 3-2 in conference. They faced Briarcliff University this weekend, beat them 36-21. 36-21 was your final score. Briarcliff actually put on a couple of late scores to make that one closer as well. Lancers played very, very well. Rugby Riken, the quarterback, had 2 touchdowns, went 14 of 22 for 193 yards. Starting running back Malachi Hartz had 131 on the ground and 2 touchdowns and 25 carries. And Rex Riken, that All-American tight end, had 3 catches, 111 yards, and a touchdown. The Lancers played very, very well. Josiah Gaetani, by the way, 2 interceptions in the ballgame. One of them a pick six. The other one he lateraled to a teammate who then took it to the house. That was on a 2-point conversion. The Lancers ran it all the way back to get 2 points of their own. So the Lancers are 4-2 on the season. They got Dordt upcoming this Friday night at Crane Youngworth Field. And yeah, the Bucks are on the road for the local high school team, and Yankton on the road, so that means Mount Marty gets the Friday night home game. That's going to be interesting. Anyways, that's your week in review of Lancer Athletics. Let's go now to a break. We'll come back in a couple minutes with John Michaletti, head coach of Mount Marty. We spoke with him post-game after the Briarcliff win once again, and then we'll take a break. We'll come back with MMU cheer. Once again, we'll speak with Emily Moody and then Joe Erickson, the cheer head coach. Back in a couple of minutes for the Lancer Locker on KYNT.
A big thank you from Mount Marty University to one of Yankton's greatest employers and friend of the community, Aztec. They're very proud to support the Mount Marty Lancers. The vision at Aztec is to build industry-changing solutions that create life-changing opportunities. And you can build a career with the group that's built to connect from rock to road. Click careers at aztecindustries.com. Best wishes, Mount Marty, from your friends at Aztec.
Hello. Here's to welcoming moments, big and small, embracing the unexpected, savoring life. At Avera, our nationally recognized health system will be right here with you, ready for anything. We listen to your goals and help you achieve them with care and coverage. We'll move you forward through sickness and health and every milestone in between. Avera, moving health forward. Learn more at avera.org/forward.
When the leaves start to fall and the air turns crisp, there's only one beer to reach for: Shiner Oktoberfest. Brewed in the heart of Texas, the Marzen-style beer is packed with caramel malts and a hint of hops for that smooth, toasty flavor perfect for cooler nights. Whether enjoying the changing colors or gathering around the fire with friends, Shiner Oktoberfest is your perfect companion for fall weather. So raise a glass and enjoy the season with Shiner Oktoberfest.
Small businesses are the backbone of our community. CoreTrust helps your business thrive with checking, online bill pay, small business loans, credit card processing, local approval and support for government grants and loans, investments to grow your hard-earned assets, and insurance to protect them. All from CoreTrust, the community bank that's right down the street and everywhere you want us to be. Visit CoreTrustBank.com today.
Member FDIC.
The Dakota Theater in Yankton is always in need of volunteers. There's something for everyone, such as being involved with shows on or off stage, selling concessions, greeting, ushering, cleaning before and after, cleaning the bathrooms, organizing, helping with the lights, the sound, the costumes, decorating, and more. The Dakota Theater in Yankton is so grateful for every volunteer. Theaters for everyone. For more information, go to dakotatheater.org or call 665-4711.
Taylor is living the Runza dream.
The Fry Life is the high life.
He's stacking up rewards on the Runza mobile app.
Points on points on points on points.
That's a lot of free food from Runza.
Yep, I'm headed there for lunch today.
Download the Runza mobile app to start getting rewards. Because Runza makes it all better.
Runza on Broadway by Menards in Yankton.
All right, back here on the Lancer Locker, my name is Tel Tanner. Let's go now to our post-game coach interview from football, as we said we do here. Football got that win over Briarcliff on Saturday. Let's go straight to it. Here's John Michaletti post-game from Saturday, the head coach of the Mount Marty football program.
And now we're going to let the coach catch his breath here and
pull up a chair, man. This guy just ran up the stairs to come talk with us, knowing that we got a schedule to keep here. I appreciate you so much.
Coach, congratulations on the win tonight. A very good Briarcliff football team. They had some good drives going. Let's start on the defensive side. It was kind of watching up here is kind of bend but don't break.
Yep. Yeah, they got some good athletes everywhere. So us being able to keep our composure on those big plays was a big thing for us. Kind of obviously not happy with those big plays, but being able to respond after that is big.
Let's start with, let's go to special teams.
Okay.
An intercepted pass on a PAT, and then a lateral to a teammate, and you go, almost 105 yards or so on the play, and you get 2 points out of it, and that was a big turning point in the game, because that looked like it was going to be maybe a 6, or it would have been a 2-point game.
Yep.
Turns into a 10, or what? Well, actually, would have been, my math is all wrong here. Would have been 6 points. Instead, it goes to 10 points. But talk us through your play. What did you see from the sideline?
Well, that swinging gate formation they've shown a few times, and they had a fake against Doan. Okay, and then last year they had a few that we showed, so we put all those together and be able to break them all down all week. Spent some time on that, and that's why they do that, so we waste some time. But luckily, we got the last laugh on that one. But no, it's one thing. Obviously, you want to make sure that a defense, after they give up a touchdown, you're trying to take advantage of them, trying to get them where they're lackadaisical for a play. That's why they run it. Our guys came out and were able to make a play. It's one thing that Josiah, have talked about a lot. If we ever got in a situation where it's something like that, he's like, hey, am I good to lateral it? I'm like, if they're on nothing to lose, really. And it'll take a long time for them to pick it up and run it back. So luckily him and AZ or Asmaram were on the same page there and able to stay within pitch relationship. So
yes.
Oh, that's good. And his second interception, the first one, a pick 6. Man, he was good today.
He was, and that's one thing he's been very good at for a while, is breaking on balls. He's fast, very big player for us. So very glad that he had a big day for us.
I want to take you through that play right before halftime. He had 9 seconds on the clock, and Rugby Reichen is scrambling. Times tick, 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 tick. He throws the football. Watching from up here, and I'll admit, I missed the play. I thought it was incomplete, but the referee took a few seconds and signaled touchdown. It was on the far side from our broadcast location, and I to be honest, I didn't see the catch because my field of view was blocked. What did you see from the sideline down there?
It was unbelievable coverage. That was one where we're trying to sneak Rex across the formation, and that was one we were telling Rugby, like, hey, it's either throw it to Rex or throw it out of bounds so we can at least get a field goal out of the deal. He kept the play alive, was able to throw it up to his brother there, and just a sweet play. I don't know if he got 2 feet in, but he sure got the one in. The one thing they went back on to see if he juggled it or not, but he did maintain it. Rex got pretty strong hands, so once again, he had a big day. So glad to see him get in the end zone.
Yeah, and that really shifted momentum, because all of a sudden you're up 23-6 at the break, and that was a big game changer. What was the excitement in the locker room at halftime?
Yeah, that obviously sent us in on a good note, and then we were able to come back out on offense again and really establish a great drive. I think it was almost a 7.5-8 minute drive right out of halftime, which is awesome. Really takes, if the wind wasn't out of sail for them there, that it definitely made sure. So very good job by the offense. I thought Rugby had an outstanding game managing the ball and doing what he's supposed to do.
I wanted to talk about those long drives, Coach. 11 of 13 on third down. You don't get the long drives without converting on the money down. But some of these long ones that ended up in scores for you. You have a 13-play, 65-yard drive, 7 minutes and 37 seconds out of the halftime locker room. You were just talking about that one. You're converting on third down. You're driving down the field. We were sitting up here talking about it. That was the type of offense you wanted to see, and you got it. What led to that?
Yeah, the confidence in our guys up front. We had a few guys shuffled around, but when it comes down to it, that's one unit being able to operate together. So that was one thing we talked about from the beginning of the year, and then we hit on this week was ball control and the time of possession. You got to make sure you're able to possess that ball. I don't think we turned the ball over at all today.
I don't believe so. And something I wanted to ask you about: no penalties.
Wow. Okay.
Not one.
The team will be happy about that. We usually run for our penalties on Monday. So I'll have to do some running this time.
We were sitting here talking about it, and it's very rare that happens. So we were wondering, we got to go back and look here, but that might be the first time.
Yeah. Last week we had 2 penalties for 15 yards, so I thought that was a pretty good.
That was very good.
Hard to improve from that, but I guess we do. So we're cleaning things up, getting the midseason form. Getting ready for Dort now.
Got to talk about Malachi Hartz. He was just sensational tonight. His longest run of the night, 13 yards. He ends up with 128 yards on 25 carries, and you got to love that performance.
Yeah, I can't say enough nice things about him. It seems that as the game gets going, he just gets more and more warmed up. So definitely a good guy to have on our team, and you got to keep feeding the pill late.
Now, we know Malachi's stats, but tell us about this young man off the field.
Unbelievable positivity, always smiling. He's constantly involved in other things. He's they're supporting softball in the spring because he was here in the springtime, softball and baseball, going to those games. He's a big supporter of everybody else at the institution. He was one of those guys going back to basketball season, starting the chants on the side or on the
That's awesome.
on the floor and stuff. So he's all about Mount Marty. Big guy. I say be where your feet are, and that's him. To a T. Good student. Constantly don't have any issues with him there. So that's always a nice break for the coaches as well. We don't have to chase kid around school, but outstanding guy. And he's just fit in so well, obviously on the field, but even more importantly off the field.
And his third game in 6 weeks that he's gone over the century mark. That is pretty good for the transfer running back.
Oh, yeah. I say we want to run the ball, and to be able to have those guys, especially with how talented that room is, to be able to go over the century mark says something.
I got to talk to you about injuries on that offensive line. Can you give us any updates? Because it seemed like a couple of guys were limping off the field here, and we know that offensive line, that's the heart and soul of a football team.
Oh, yeah. Yep. We sat out Lionel Whittingham this week with his foot, expecting him hopefully to get back for next week. Anil Pastrana got hurt on that extra point there right before halftime. Seemed to be okay. Went through a few tests. We'll get further evaluation tomorrow. And then Kelp just came up with a little bit of a contusion on his hand. So nothing too big. Our guys should be able to keep going, and at least that's what I hope.
And that with that, you were able to get Grabo and Gove a little bit of playing time. Yep. They came in here. I noticed when Kelp came off the field, it was, I believe, Alex Gove, the freshman out of North Platte, who came in on that right side of the offensive line. And that's where you ran it. You ran it with not even the backup to the backup who came in. You ran right behind him, and you get it in the end zone.
Yeah, Alex Gove from North Platte, Nebraska, has came in and really picked up the offense very quickly for a freshman. He's got quite a bit of experience in our JV games, and that helped with some of our confidence in him being able to step up in this situation. He's a very aggressive offensive lineman, which we want to see, especially with a young buck. So glad and that's what we want to get started, run the ball right behind him, like you're saying, to get him, his confidence, and everybody else's confidence into him, because he's a very good player and he got a lot of good football ahead of him.
And finally, the Catholic Cup, you get a little bit of hardware in your trophy room. You've got 3 different things in there. The old Catholic Cup from the presentation days, unfortunately that one's done. The new Catholic Cup, and of course the Dakota Railroad rivalry. That locker room's got to be looking good.
Oh yeah, can't complain with that. Definitely glad. That's what one of the players said afterwards. Like, hey coach, we're undefeated in trophy games. Like, yep,
that's good.
Just make every game a trophy game at that point.
All right, we'll wrap up with one question. Dort on a Friday night. What are you going to have to do to prepare for that big contest?
Yeah, they're a very good football team. Obviously a high-ranked opponent when you're looking nationally. Very good run offense, but they've been relying a little bit more on the pass this year than they have in the past. They got some very good guys all around and very good defense. So we're going to have to make sure that we play some disciplined ball, look to improve from this week, and make sure that we control the emotions of the game. I think it's going to be another fun one there Friday night.
Friday night, 7 o'clock kickoff, the last night game. Well, you have 2 night games in a row, so you ought to be used to playing under the lights.
Exactly.
All right. Coach, thanks for your time. We'll talk to you Friday.
Appreciate it, guys.
Didn't even have to climb through a window this time.
Yeah. John Michaletti, head coach of the victorious Mount Marty Lancers. Again, 36-21 is the final score as we continue here.
Nah, we won't. That's Steve Tube and I post-game talking to John Michaletti. This is the Lancer Locker here on KYNT. Let's take that break. Come back with Emily Moody now for the Mount Marty cheer program. We'll talk to the head coach in Joe Erickson as well. That's what we wanted to do this week. MMU cheer up next.
Oktoberfest is a brief moment of fall beer drinking beauty. So have Samuel Adams Oktoberfest on hand as the nights get cooler and the days a little shorter. Smooth taste with the roasty sweetness and light hop character that's only available for a short time. Kick off cooler weather with food and friends, and don't miss a moment with Samuel Adams Oktoberfest. Grab it while you can at your favorite place to buy beer.
Farming is hard work. Between managing crops, livestock, and equipment, there's not much time left to handle financing and loans. At Dakota Mac, we can help you do the heavy lifting when it comes to ag financing. Whether you're a full-time farmer, an investor, or a young and beginning farmer, we're here for you for all your ag lending needs. Let Dakota Mac help you work smarter, not harder.
Hi, it's Jeff Wolfgram from Dakota Mac. Call us at 800-682-4578 to learn how Dakota Mac products can work for you.
At Triple Time Rudy's, not only do you get top-notch fuel to keep you on the move, but it's a destination for delicious local treats. You'll find quality South Dakota products like Dimmick cheese and premium meats from the Kaler and Renner lockers. It's your community's pit stop for more than just fuel. Triple Time Rudy's supports schools and events and provides fuel discounts to Yankton's largest employers. For all your daily fill-ups and convenience needs, stop by Triple Time Rudy's at 17th and Broadway.
In they come and out they go. That's what's happening at Lewis & Clark Ford with our new 2024 Ford F-150s. I'm Brandon Tykrow. When we get in a newly designed 2024 F-150, they're not sticking around long. Buyers are loving the new engine options, the standard 12-inch display screen, heroic towing capacity, and a packaged version to fit every budget. Stop in and see why the 2024 Ford F-150 is the hottest truck on the market. Lewis & Clark Ford, 4th and Capitol, Yankton.
Quit hitting the snooze button on your new career. Wake up to recently increased wages, day one benefits, and an employer who puts you first. Grind through the workday in your own specialty. Assembler, machine operator, material handler, or line operation tech. Don't mind working nights? Enjoy a pay differential of $2.35. Choose your shift and enjoy day one benefits. This isn't just a job, it's your future. Join us today. Find more information and apply now at parker.com.
Parker, engineering your success.
All right, back here on the Lancer Locker on KYNT. My name is Tel Tanner, keeping you company on this Monday. We go now to Emily Moody, a sophomore of Mount Marty University cheer. Emily, thank you for joining me today. I appreciate you for coming in the booth.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about Mount Marty cheer before we get into you. What does a typical week look like in terms of your schedule athletically?
Right now we have a couple days of practice. That'll obviously change once we get into comp season. We have a couple days of lifting, and then we have one day of tumbling.
So tumbling, what goes into that?
Well, we basically just work on like the flips and tricks part of cheer, more of like the, I guess, back handsprings and back tucks and things like that.
So let's talk about your major then. What is your major? What are you wanting to do with your life?
My major is exercise science. I'm pre-physical therapy. So then after I graduate from Mount Marty, I'll go somewhere else for physical therapy school.
Have an idea of where you want to go?
Right now I'm looking at Augustana and USD, but a few other places too.
Yeah, a couple of good schools. You're only a sophomore, so you've obviously got plenty of time to figure things out. What are you, 19, 20, somewhere around there?
Yeah, 19.
Yeah, so you got plenty of time to figure things out. Don't even worry about that. But dream goal. If you get to do exactly what you want, what is that? Down the line, you hit your dream. What's that job?
I guess just being a physical therapist somewhere, small clinic.
Some small clinic?
Yeah.
Would you want to stay close to home or go somewhere fun? What are you thinking?
Yeah, relatively close.
So you're from Mitchell, right?
Mm-hmm.
So tell me about, obviously we know about Mitchell itself, but tell me about your family and growing up there and what it was like.
I guess I have two brothers, Mason and Dylan, and then my mom's an accountant and my dad's a physical therapist, and he runs a business there in Mitchell, which is kind of where I got my ideas started.
What kind of businesses you run?
Physical therapy and then a small gym.
Gotcha. So you're trying to basically go into the family business is what's kind of going on here. So he runs that place. Would you ever work with him maybe after college, or would you try and start your own place, or what's the goal?
I might work with him. We'll see.
We'll see. I get it. In terms of coming to Yankton, what was the decision coming to Mount Marty? Why was it here?
Well, I heard from Joe. And then I visited, and I liked how small it was and, like, the community aspect of it and how close everybody was. And then I just got to talking to more people about it, and I really fell in love with the school.
So Yankton itself, what are some of the things you do for fun in town, either with your friends or maybe eating places? What do you do?
We like to go walk the bridge a lot and then just kind of walk around campus or go shopping, things like that.
The university itself, tell me about your classes.
Right now I'm in a lot of like just the upper level exercise science courses, so learning how the body works and how everything functions together.
Are you finding those classes pretty interesting? Like, what's your favorite part of those classes?
My favorite part is just seeing how like the mind and the body connect together to make the movements actually happen.
Which works very well in cheer. So there you go. The competitive season comes up this spring. You getting excited for that?
Definitely.
What are some of the things that you're hoping your team's going to be able to do this year?
I think we're looking a lot more put together right now, and I'm excited to see how far we can go because it's looking pretty good right now.
Awesome. Well, Emily, I appreciate your time. Thank you for coming in to talk with me. A little short and sweet interview. I appreciate you very much. Do you have any final message for Lancer Nation that you'd like to say?
Go Lancers, I guess.
Go Lancers. Well, thank you very much, Emily, for coming in. We'll talk with you again at some point, I'm sure.
Thank you.
And now let's head over and slide to the head coach of the Mount Marty Cheer program in Joe Erickson. Joe, obviously you're familiar with this booth and this station as your dad works here.
Been very familiar with this station, with every radio station he's been a part of since I was born. The studio's not a new place for me.
One of these days when we do these interviews for the Lancer Locker, I'm just going to have him do the interview. I feel like that'd be more fun.
We can just have a father-son segment.
Exactly.
Air out all the grievances.
Ooh. Now I need to know the dirt. What are the grievances?
I don't know. They might not be appropriate for the radio.
That's funny. Well, let's talk about cheer then. We had Emily Moody in earlier in the show, and she's still sitting right here as we talk, so be careful. But can you tell me about her?
I mean, there's a lot to be said about Emily. I think we really struck gold when we got Emily to commit along with two of her other Colonel friends from high school. It kind of fell into our laps per se, but it's one of the best things that's happened to our program thus far. There's not much more that you can ask out of an athlete than what Emily gives.
Talk about a little bit more of that history, some of the good things that have happened with this program. The team GPA, you hit a milestone there. Tell me what happened.
Yeah, we definitely hit a home run there. 2 years ago, we had a really high GPA in the country. I think we were third or fourth in the nation for GPA, and it was kind of a goal that I said that I would love to have that. At the beginning of the year, we had some conversations last year of, hey, this is what I would like our team GPA to be at. And a couple weeks ago, we got the news that we had the number one competitive cheer team GPA in the nation. So
number one in the nation.
Yeah, number one in the nation. Feels good to say that. Now we just got to spread it out to competing as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You've been a multi-time coach of the year in the GPAC, obviously. The team GPA is extremely high. Now you're going to try and translate that into the competitive season this spring. How are you preparing for that in the fall, obviously?
We start in the fall. We really start the end of the summer in sideline season as we cheer on Lancer football. And I think a lot of the initial steps are just kind of laying the groundwork of what do we want our team to be built on, trying to instill that work ethic and that drive and to motivate people to really finish out the work that they maybe started over the summer and getting them where they need to be for a competitive season. Around this time of year, we'll start working on the choreography for the routine in the spring. And then from now until competition season, it's just practice so we can try to perfect it.
How many times a week do you get to practice?
Right now, during sideline season, we're only practicing about 2 nights a week, and then we'll have an additional night there where we just focus on tumbling. We go and work on that at River City Gymnastics. Shameless plug to them. Thank you for allowing us to come into your space and utilize it. They've been great since the program started. We wouldn't be where we're at without people like Emily and without businesses like River City Gymnastics.
We wanted to talk a little earlier before we got on the mics of different positions in cheer and how they kind of all work together. Can you walk me through, like, Emily's a base. Walk me through what she does and then the different positions.
Yeah, so a typical stunt group, when you see someone get put up in the air, there's a lot going on beneath them. Usually all the eyes are on the top girl or the flyer, and that's by design. We want everyone looking at them, but beneath her is 3 or 4 people that are keeping her safe and allowing her to be as stable as she is up there. So Emily's a base. Every stunt group has 2 bases, a main and a secondary base. They're holding the feet. They're doing any twisting. They're giving that drive and that power. And then behind them, you always see, usually it's someone a little bit taller. They are a back spot. And what the back spot is tasked with doing is really kind of running the stunt group. They're kind of the driver of it, letting everyone know what they need to do and when they need to do it. And ultimately, one of their main jobs is keeping that top girl safe in the air.
You've mentioned keeping the top girl safe multiple times. It's kind of a dangerous job getting thrown high in the air and then just having to trust your teammates that they're going to catch you in the right way. You got to land in the right way. What goes into that in practice, making sure everybody's safe?
I mean, yeah, obviously, cheerleading is one of the more dangerous sports out there, believe it or not. There's more people that get injured in cheer than a lot of other sports, even if you look across, basketball, football. It's a really dangerous sport. I always tell people that it must be nice to be acceptable to drop passes and miss shots. We aren't allowed to miss people. We aren't allowed to drop, because when we drop people, people get hurt. Yeah. And that's obviously something we always want to avoid. A lot of it is just making sure that people, as we're trying new things, are ready to try those things. We don't want to push people to try things before they're ready, because if you're not ready and you haven't built up the ability before you try it, that's when we usually see the most injuries happen.
So as we go toward the back half of fall, obviously, we're already in October.
I know,
which
it's
is
crazy.
Just wild to me. What are some of the things that you want your team to be focusing on as they get toward the end of this semester and then going into spring?
Well, I mean, one thing that we recently talked about, I know Emily, myself, and one of the other captains had talked about it, was that we really need to start hammering conditioning. I think as we're getting closer to competition season, some people are starting to realize that, as we're not just doing one thing and coming down, and we're starting to string together jumps and tumbling and stunts and moving and dancing. The realization is kind of there that we're gonna be really tired, and so conditioning is definitely one of those things that we need to work on. And really, I just think one of the things we need to focus on this year is knowing what our role is. Every person has a role on the team, just like anywhere else, and we all just need to fulfill that role as best as we can to make sure that the team succeeds.
On the sideline for football games, maybe every time the other team scores, make them do some push-ups or something. I know some schools do that.
Yeah, some people do that. The way the Lancer offense is rolling this year, I don't know if I want to be doing that many push-ups.
It's been great.
It's been phenomenal. Huge shout out to Coach Michaletti and his staff on really a historic season for them as of last weekend, setting the win record. That trophy case is getting filled up with hardware, and now it's just their job to protect them, make sure they don't go back, especially Dakota Wesleyan. We do not want that trophy going back there.
Never. All right, Joe, thank you very much for coming into the booth. I appreciate your time. Thanks for joining me and get an update on Lancer Cheer.
As always, thanks for having us, Tel.
Everyone loves something different about our buffet, which is good because buffet has something for everyone. This is Annie from Yankton Pizza Ranch. Come in and fill your plate with good food that makes you feel good inside. Don't see your favorite pizza on the buffet? Request it using Buffet Your Way. We'll make it, bake it, and give you the very first slice. Grab the country's best chicken paired with tasty sides and finish off with sweet cactus bread at Yankton Pizza Ranch.
Did you know Sherco offers more than egg tarps? As an industry leader in construction, waste, and flatbed tarping systems, Sherco offers manual and electric tarp systems for not only grain trailers and grain carts, but also side dumps, end dumps, belly dumps, roll-offs, flatbeds, and more. To learn more, give us a call at 1-800-474-8756 or find us at Sherco.com. Demand the best, demand Sherco.
Brand names like Ashley Furniture, Lazy Boy, Stearns & Foster, Sealy, Tempur-Pedic fill our sales floor and our warehouses. At Slumberland, we're passionate about what we sell: furniture, mattresses, and home decor. We take pride in selling high-quality products at a great price. You deserve to have the home you want, and at Slumberland, we want to help you achieve it. Live in the home of your dreams. See us at Slumberland in Yankton, 2401 Broadway.
Beef, pork, seafood, poultry, and more. All at the Meat Lodge in Yankton. Get top quality meats at great prices. They have specialty items like lamb, brisket, mahi-mahi, crab legs, and lobster. They even have non-meat options like Dimmick cheese, pickled items, seasonings, and sauces. For your convenience, you can call and order curbside pickup or order online at meatlodge.com. The Meat Lodge in Yankton, on the way to the lake on Highway 52.
Attention homeowners,
If you've been on the fence about selling, I'd love the opportunity to sit and visit with you. With low inventory, now would be a good time to call me, Deb Speck at Vision Real Estate. I'll provide you with a free market analysis and a no-pressure approach. Call me at 605-664-5555 to find out if now is the right time to make a move.
Well, big thank you to everybody that came by today. Emily Moody, Joe Erickson, and post-game comments from John Michaletti. That's going to do it for the Lancer Locker today. My name is Tell Tanner. We'll take a look at upcoming schedule once again for Lancer Athletics. The golf teams are in Sioux City today and tomorrow. They already played today. They're going to be there tomorrow morning as well. We'll have results on Totally Yankton over the next couple of days, our morning show on KYNT. Of course, we'll talk competitive cheer throughout their competitive season as it comes up. Right now, they're in sideline season, as the head coach said. Men's soccer, women's soccer, they're going to be in action coming up again. They've got a Wednesday game this week, Crane Youngworth Field. There's two home games, going to be home on Wednesday and home on Friday for both men's and women's soccer in that one. Hastings, they take on Wednesday night, and then Friday morning / early afternoon, they'll be at Crane Youngworth Field. Friday's going to be a busy day for the Lancers. They got two soccer games and the nightcap football game to finish it up versus Dort. Once again, the football team plays Dort Friday night at 7 p.m. Crane at Youngworth Field. And volleyball, who is 12-7 and 4-4 on the season, that's overall in conference, they play Northwestern tomorrow evening in Yankton. 3 home games in their next 3 games. They got Northwestern on Tuesday, Dort on Thursday, and then next Wednesday, Midland. All 3 of those home games, all of them starting at 7:30. Go watch some Lancer Athletics. That's going to do it for the Locker today. Thanks to Emily, thanks to Joe, thanks to John.